Greetings, YouTube. This is going to be unlike any video that I have ever talked about, commentated, shown. I've talked about why players quit before, and this is certainly going to be one of those videos, but it's unique because of the circumstances. So this summoner reached out to me about 4 days ago and said, I made a video showing how messed up this issue is. I maxed out my rewards, was promised I would qualify, then got nothing for my points. My video also includes my tickets submitted and Kabam's response. If you would shed some light on the issue, a lot of us would appreciate it, and I can send you the video. Just tell me how, and I have the video pulled up. He said, this is hundreds of dollars of rewards withheld for no reason, and they're not addressing the issue. He said, I've put tens of thousands of dollars in this game, which sounds like a lot, but for people who've been playing the game as long as I have, and yes, I know I have a YouTube channel, and so I am blessed in ways that 99.9% of people aren't, that's pretty common. He said, I put tens of thousands of dollars in this game over the years, and this is the last straw. Wow. Right? Like, that's a lot. And we're probably going to need to pause the video and kind of look at help tickets and stuff like that. But in terms of the video, you can see, oh, man, that's some bad 7-star luck to Awaken Gambit as your first Awaken champion. Yikes. This is Cassidy, by the way. He's a legend. Okay, so myself and a few other summoners joined a new alliance the day the 7-star celebration started. All points toward the event were earned in the new alliance, but after the waiting period to collect rewards, we are still not able to collect the rewards from the alliance event. So they did send out initially information saying that it would take X amount of days if you joined an alliance during the event or at the start of the event like this summoner did. X amount of days for you to get the points, but eventually you get them, and this sounds like this was one of those scenarios. Spent hundreds of dollars maxing out the solo event, expecting additional rewards from the alliance event. And yes, that was the big caveat, right? Please help. So I think something was coded in the 7-star celebration just wrong. And you can see all of these events. You will qualify in 2 days, and there's 3 days left. So it literally says you'll qualify in 2 days and 22 hours, and there's more than 3 days left. So yes, it was going to be at the very end, and you can see when I hide my webcam, and maybe I should just do that for most of this duration of the video until I come back. You can see that he contributed 117,400 points. He's the second most points of his alliance, next to Grundy's 11. So he was really carrying the weight of so many milestones for his alliance mates to get these additional rewards, which is pretty awesome. And that made it all the way up to the last milestone, which they didn't have enough points for at the time of recording this, but they could have gotten everything else. And there's, as you know, some really good stuff, some really rare stuff. But none of it's available. Now, my thinking would have been, okay, on the last day, it would have become available when the timers run out. But there's like an hour left on the event. It no longer tells him that he's locked out of the event. It tells him, it basically has the same screen. And are those the solo rewards? Yeah, the solo event rewards were claimed, but not the alliance. Your request for the 7-star alliance event rewards has been updated. Thank you for contacting us during milestone rewards. You are unable to claim due to either being kicked from the alliance or a blackout period. Which again, this is the standard message that people are sent when they're kicked out and following the rules. While we understand how valuable the rewards associated with 7-star celebration are, there's a prize blackout period. So he knows all this, right? He knows that there's a prize blackout period. He timed it to where that blackout period would end like a day before the rewards went away. And as you saw in the last message, when the rewards were still claimable on paper, the blackout period extended, like a hidden second blackout period, to where he couldn't claim them, even though he had been in the alliance long enough to where that should have automatically expired. And so I feel like whoever coded this event just somehow wasn't able to code it for situations like this, because I know this is not the only summoner that went through this. And yet he spent hundreds of dollars, thousands of units, maybe even thousands of dollars, I don't know. This is amongst the most obviously terrible situations I've seen for people walking away from the game. Strictly because, and partially because, you have a situation where he did everything that Kabam told him to do, and it didn't work. This is not a member who left his alliance halfway through and just missed the window, because that happens as well, or maybe he got kicked. That's not what happened here. So saying, we understand that you may have found this blackout period to be frustrating and we are still working to address the situation, that doesn't help. Because that doesn't get back the items he opened and everything else. So, I mean, this situation, I know they think they're saying the right things, and maybe as a company they're saying everything they can say because it's just too complicated to recode it. And you can see I have attached proof that all progress was made in the current alliance. I also attached a screenshot of the game saying I will qualify for milestone rewards after the blackout period. So again, the key is that time period ended and the blackout period never ended. This happened with the Battlegrounds event and there was no issue. I spent over $400 in this event with the game indicating I would indeed qualify for milestone rewards before the event ended. This is misleading and I did not receive the rewards I made to believe I would receive. So yeah, all of this is true and all of this is obvious, and yet it's just not enough for Kabam to change the coding of the event. So in the end, it said you will qualify, and he did not qualify. 3 hours and 32 minutes. I'm sure he circled this time on his calendar, and all these are the solo events, which of course you could get without an alliance. And he got all 130,000 points of that, and yet the blackout period, 132,700, was only the second position of the alliance event rewards by 200 and could not claim any of those rewards. I mean, it just makes you sick, not just from a units and a 7-star shard standpoint, but from like they had a hidden blackout period that they just don't want to acknowledge. This message does not acknowledge from them that there was this second blackout period that went longer than their timer said it would, and it just wasn't coded correctly. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it other than the fact that this is an insane situation, and this would make anyone want to quit. This is in a situation like this is almost like Kabam fraud, because you have somebody that was promised items in the game for money, which, by the way, if Kabam didn't control refunds, this would be the classic justifiable reason for this guy to get a $400 refund, or at least a partial refund. You might say, well, that's not true because then the purchases wouldn't have contributed to the rewards in the solo event, and that gets complicated. But in general, like, he was not given what he was promised. There is a code of ethics for Google Play and Apple that's supposed to align perfectly with this situation, and yet it wasn't. So I'm angry for him, but at the same time I'm not surprised. Thank you for the feedback, Summoner. I'm sorry about the situation, but I'm thankful that my channel was helping to bring it to light, because I'm sure you are not the only person who faced this. And even if only 2 people faced it, they still shouldn't face it, especially when it's hundreds of dollars worth of cash to make this problem happen. That's the situation. Let's keep this video under 10 minutes, as I try to do with 99% of my videos. Have a good one.